Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Taurus New Supermoon Feng Shui. The new moon that's a supermoon that's starting a whole era of what I consider to be wealth on your own terms, wealth building on your own terms, making money in ways that feel amazing to you, accumulating more, and finding new ways to prosper. So we're going to get into some money magic. You'll see what these are for. We're going to get into your home, and we're going to talk about this big shift. So the planet Uranus has been in the sign of Taurus since I think 2018, 2017, for this stretch where it's meant to reimagine what money is. So a lot of astrologers were saying this is going to be the rise of digital currency. It's going to be the rise of new money. There's going to be new dollars coming or new international systems. And that may be. We'll see what happens. It ends at this time next year. So in April of 2026, this cycle is complete. But we're really feeling this reinvention at this time. There's a lot of astrology, a lot of cool things like Neptune and Aries and Pluto and Aquarius, all pointing to innovation, new ways of living, new ways of thinking, new ways of creating. This is a time to break out of the old ways of even thinking about money and abundance and stability and prosperity and expansion, and really starting to define them for yourself and define yourself differently in terms of how you relate to things like money and beauty and love and pleasure and everything beautiful that Taurus relates to, because Taurus is the tangible sign. It's the manifested. It's the stuff you hold in your hand. It's not just envisioning and visualizing, as much as I love all of that. It's doing, it's action, it's living, it's having it. And so I want you to have things. I want you to make things. I want you to create things. Creativity is going to be your supercharging energy. If you want something new, create it. And when I say create it, at every point in my life where I was faced with even life and death situations, truly, or big problems, big things, whenever I diverted my attention away from the problem and started making art, brainstorming, doing something creative, cooking more, getting into hobbies, allowing my creativity to wake up rather than falling into the tension of things, everything resolved itself quickly. And I made enormous breakthroughs. It was like breakdown, breakthrough. And that is a cycle I don't want anyone to have to experience. Why have to have a breakdown? Just keep creating, keep on creating. So if there are things you haven't done in a long time, hobbies you haven't done, art you haven't touched, things you've wanted to make, that whole wall is empty behind me because it is going to get a new painting that I am making. And if you want to see me make art, I'm happy to do a few projects. I'll make some shorts of making some of the art that's going all around the house. It's going to be really fun. I have a bunch of projects planned, but this is the energy of making, of doing, of not sitting, not waiting, not wondering. Now, how creative you can be, I think, directly correlates to how much you can expand with all of this energy. And you are limitless. You were born a genius. You were born to be creative. So awaken all of this. Now, when you feel stressed or overwhelmed or like there's problems or like there's chaos or instability in the world or whatever it is, it's very easy to shut down your creative systems. And this is why one of the first things that I can recommend to you is to shut off all of the outside narratives, all of it, and create your own and start creating more money in practical, tangible ways. We're going to talk about the money magic stuff and home magic and all sorts of feng shui, but creating more money in practical ways without listening to whatever people are talking about, whatever's on the news for the moment. And it doesn't matter if the economy is at a high or a low, there's always something that creates chaos and instability if you listen to it and attach to it. be informed, do what you want to do, but give yourself a break from, think about it this way, what you focus on will grow. And if you're focusing on all the spirals and things that people are talking about in their opinions, because no one really knows what's going to happen, so it's all opinions, then you start going down with it. It's like kind of programming yourself to not prosper as much as you can. And so extricate yourself from all that stuff. Give yourself your own narrative. Rewrite and rethink on your own terms. This is wealth on your own terms. What wealth is to you, how much money you actually need and want, how many ways you can get prosperity. So when we talk about practical ways to make more money, it could be that you have a side hustle. It could be that you start a new passion project. It could be that you get your raise at work, whatever it is. That's practical ways to make more money. You could also save more money, which is another way that you can make more money. But I prefer even expanding it further and thinking, how can I invest more cleverly? How can I be more aware of all the ways that I can receive money? One of the things that I think we dropped out of the conversation that used to be a huge part of life is bartering and exchanges. And this is such a beautiful way to have more abundance, to have more money, to have more things to exchange with people. It's such a great way to make more money, and it's not even taxed. So it's a great way to really give and receive and have all sorts of wealth building. So I want you to think again out of the box, how you can do this, how you can expand further. And this can change your life in big ways. This is how friends I know have had incredible places to stay. They were property managers in exchange for great homes to live in. They were doing different tasks in exchange for different trainings and things that they did. It's so possible. And also remember, you can receive gifts, and that's also a practical way to get more money. Now, the magical ways. Money activated in magical ways. How can you activate money in your life in more magical ways? First, all your creativity. So again, everything creative that you love to do, you're going to start doing things you can do right now, especially if you're busy, especially if it's counterintuitive, especially if you're like, I don't know if I can. Yes, you can. You absolutely can. But then you can also try a few little bits of money magic. So this one involves a dollar bill. This dollar bill is very special. It came to me from a friend, actually a graduate of the Feng Shui school who became a very good friend of mine. And she is a money magic queen, and she's always manifesting piles and piles of money. And she sent me this, and she energized this dollar bill and sent it to me. And then I energized a different dollar bill and sent it to someone else. So here's what you do. You take your dollar bill and you hold it, and it could be any currency. So wherever you are in the world, hold it on your solar plexus. So kind of right your stomach, like your solar plexus, right in there. Put your hands over it if it feels good. Breathe and imagine that you are energizing this dollar bill with the greatest amount of abundance that you could ever, 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 ever imagine. So the most money you can imagine, the most prosperity you can imagine, all of it, it's flowing through your hands into this dollar bill. It's flowing out of your solar plexus into the dollar bill. And this dollar bill is getting brighter and brighter and brighter and more activated with wealth. And so the best way to create more of something is to give it away. That's another thing I learned from the same friend. And it's a wonderful concept, and it's something I really live by. And so you take your dollar bill and you give it to someone and tell them this is an energized dollar bill for you to help you to activate money. And if you want to activate another dollar bill and send it to someone else, you can. Or you can mail it to someone, like she mailed it to me, and give people instructions on how to energize a dollar bill and send it along. And the idea here is it's like this chain of wealth being spread. I got just $1. You could say it wasn't like a costly experiment, but this energy of filling something up with wealth and then giving it away is so powerful. So you might want to try this. It's extremely fun. It's very, very easy. The second thing that you can try is get yourself a golden dollar bill. These you could find on Amazon, on Etsy. You might be able to find them locally. They're really pliable, really durable. And I keep one of these in my wallet. And I do the same thing. I energize it, hold it and energize it, keep one in my wallet. I put one on my vision board, because you should always, if you want more money, put actual things that look like money on your vision board. It's a really good practice. And also, you can keep these around your house. So I keep one at my desk. So I always have a golden dollar bill in front of me, because it's very supercharged and they're really beautiful. They're shiny and sparkly and beautiful, and I love them. So this is a great one. Another thing you can do is something that I've shared in videos here before that are very popular, which is grab some ground cinnamon. As long as you're not allergic to it, grab a little bit of ground cinnamon, put it in your palm, and you're going to walk around your house and just take a tiny pinch, tiny bit, and sprinkle it in each corner. And as you sprinkle it, you're going to be thinking about more wealth, more abundance coming to you, being magnetically attracted into your home and into your life. So this is really easy. Every corner of every room, and just sprinkle a tiny bit. It will not attract tons, in my experience. It will not attract bugs. In fact, I think it repels a lot of bugs, cinnamon, and you're using the tiniest bit. It's like dust. The key here isn't that it's just the cinnamon. It's your intention that you are infusing into your home in a very powerful way. You are ready to receive. So one of the things I said in the video I just made, and if you haven't seen it on the channel, it's called Everything Must Go. And it's about how I've let go of most of the things in my home, and how magically so many things came flooding into my life that I didn't even pay for. Like, so many things showed up, and so many new opportunities and so many new things. And it was all started by making a decision. So the biggest decision you can make for yourself right now is that you are going to prosper on your own terms. No matter what anyone's doing or anyone's saying or anything going on in the world, you are going to prosper, and you get to decide what that looks like. And I suggest making it the juiciest, most powerful, most exciting vision, because that is what you are going to want to create. And to make it juicier and more exciting, beautify your home. Beautification is a big part of Taurus energy. It's the hedonistic energy. It's the beautiful energy. It's thriving. It's growth. It's endless prosperity. You want to think joyful sanctuary. So when you look at your home, do you look in each room and go, oh, this is a joyful sanctuary? Or do you go, okay, great. So if it doesn't seem like a joyful sanctuary, start by just cleaning your house. It's so simple. I know I say this all the time, but the number of times people call me and say, thanks for pushing me to clean, because it really made a big difference. Clean your house and make it fun. Clean your house and add some essential oils, add some, do a little bit of incense burning while you're doing it. Open some windows, feel the freshness. And as you're doing it, do it with joy. And same thing for decluttering, same thing for tidying things up and reorganizing. All of this is the baseline of beautification that's going to make a big difference in your home and in your life. Now, you want to take this to the next level. We want to see thriving. I want to see thriving plants. I have to repot this big tree. It's getting really crispy leaves, and I was told by an expert that I needed to desperately repot this tree. So it's getting repotted this week. I have to fix the other plants back there that are flopping all over the place. Everything needs to be thriving. And sometimes in order to thrive, you need to do a little bit of research. And so if you're not good at thriving plants and you get yourself a plant, do a little research and get good at it. No one, some people are more in tune with nature, but no one knows everything about everything. People do research. People ask questions. So do a little research and find out the best ways to care for your plants, and then start a more lush sanctuary in your home. Ask your friends for clippings of their house plants and propagate them and make your own plants. You can start right now And by the end of the summer, you'll have like a jungle in your home full of plants, and it is going to be glorious, and it's going to cost you almost nothing. And then you can share clippings with other people. Again, it's like the dollar bill. The abundance keeps rolling. Now, another thing that you can think about doing that's so powerful right now is everything DIY. Everything with your mark, your energy, yourself. I've been saying this a lot this year, but DIY art, DIY upgrades that you make, painting a little table, doing a mosaic on a little table, you can do this. None of this is that difficult. And the minute you say you can, you're off to the races. And once you do, you start thinking, I did that. What could I do next? I wonder if I could do this. I wonder if I could tile my kitchen. I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if I could do that. And the answer is yes, you can. Yes, you can. And it might be easier than you think. The difference between me and someone who's created their, I've seen women on TikTok who are like installing their kitchen cabinets and making them from plywood. And I mean, wild stuff that people are learning themselves how to do, is that they took the time to research it. They're not just born with this intuitive knowledge. Not everyone's born with intuitive knowledge of how to do construction work, or carpentry. You learn, and you can learn anything. And this process of learning to make things thrive, of learning to make things in general, is a big piece of this new thriving in a new way. The Uranus and Taurus, this reinvention of wealth, which is happening whether we like it or not. It's going to happen. It's by the end of next year. It's the one that cycle is complete. We see it happening in the world. This is the time to prosper in a huge way. And the way to do it is to say, I create my wealth and I'm going to make more wealth. And so your joyful sanctuary is going to be a reflection of everything thriving around you. And as a consequence, it's going to help you to thrive, because your home is a mirror of you. And the more your home looks a certain way, the more you will as well. And so this is powerful. Now, another thing that I think is stunningly important is your wellness. And Taurus wellness, it's very similar. Earth signs like Virgo. Virgo's always linked to wellness, but also this Taurus energy, this earth energy, very much about your vitality, your thriving vitality, your energy. So this could be a great time to really look at your basic wellness. You don't have to go crazy with all kinds of new habits that you've never, going into special saunas. And I have friends doing stem cell treatments and all kinds of things just because, and all of those things are exciting to explore. There's a lot of innovation, but at the bottom of it all are your basic habits. And so just ask yourself about those basic habits. How well am I actually eating all day? One thing that I adopted recently, and it's a fun game, I read a book about it, about metabolic well-being, and this was mentioned as a key to better digestion and a stronger immune system and all sorts of things. There's a lot of research on this. It's to eat 30 different fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds every single week. So if you look at your grocery list, look at your pantry, make sure, and you can count fresh parsley, fresh thyme, like fresh herbs count. And also all different nuts count as different things, but you can basically have like 6 different fruits in the week and then have 20 different vegetables, and it could be different lettuce counts as different vegetables. And then you can have some nuts and seeds and some beans, and all of the stuff all adds up to an array of nutrients, but also an array of color and flavor and energy. And that's so much about this season. It can prompt you to go to the farmer's market. I thought, oh, I already do that. And then I looked in my refrigerator, in my pantry, and I was only at like 18. And I thought I was like batting 1,000. I was like 30, that's nothing. And turns out it wasn't nothing. I had to go to the grocery store and get some stuff and start making some new stuff because I didn't have it all. And it's now moving me to make more soups, make more salads, make things in new ways, add fresh herbs to things. Why does this matter? Because it lights up your life as well as your energy. So that's a great one for this season. If you haven't tried it yet, I think you might love it as much as I do. I have friends who are deep into doing this and they swear by it. I already feel just the joy and the creativity of making this my little challenge. And so this is one way you can dial in your wellness in a basic way. You can also ask yourself, how well am I sleeping? Am I truly drinking enough water? Am I really hydrated? Am I doing enough walking, like just getting basic steps every day? And if the answer is no, you know exactly what you can do. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. It doesn't have to turn your life upside down. But these basic things are the usual things that get missed. And then, because we're being marketed to so much, the idea is, oh, I need to try this new vitamin. I need to try this new supplement. I need to try colostrum. I need to try all these things. I'm told I need to drink this special drink. And all those things might be wonderful for you and might be excellent, but nothing's going to replace great sleep, enough hydration, enough motion, and eating just a basically varied diet without a lot of sugar and things like this. Like, this is all like core basic stuff. I don't care what else, what philosophies you have about food or anything else. This baseline foundation is what you want to strengthen right now. It's strengthening your foundation in money, strengthening your foundation in your home, strengthening your foundation in your wellness habits, strengthening your foundation of creativity. That's the supermoon. So every supermoon is, every new moon is a new beginning. A supermoon is a super version of this. So an extra charged version of this. And so because you have all this added energy, all this extra motivation, this extra thriving, all of this extra, how are you going to use this to your advantage? I suggest doing those basic things, those core habits, the things that you probably have done them before. Probably you've tracked your steps before and you just kind of fell off and now you're going to go back and do it. Or maybe you already had a great run of sleep and it just fell off and you're just going to go back to it. So some of these things, pick things that are easy, but also pick things that are fundamental, meaning it is fundamental, so vital, so important that you get these things done in order for you to thrive. And the biggest thing that I could recommend, as I said earlier, is to take yourself out of the big narratives. I haven't made a video on YouTube about it, but when I decluttered my whole house, I also stopped scrolling on the internet. So I have very little idea of the blow by blow things happening everywhere at any moment. Like, I just don't know. I don't know what's trending. I don't know what videos people are watching. I just don't know. And I love it. My mind is so clear. My nervous system is so calm. And so oftentimes it's not about doing more. It's about doing less and really digging in. And that's where your creativity expands. That's where you become more money magnetic. So on this new super moon, you might want to create a little ritual for yourself to set some big intentions. And your ritual can be something very fun. So you can even make a beautiful dinner for yourself and sit down with a big notepad. So you might have a little notepad like this, or I just got myself a new sketch pad. So I have a giant sketch pad like this, and you can sit down with some colored pens and all sorts of paper and sit and write, and you can decorate it, and you can really think about each goal and try to set an intention for the month that has to do with your wealth and really get into how you are going to execute it. These are not wishes. These are determinations. You are going to do this. So you can even write on the top, I am going to ... or I have already ... So imagining you already have manifested these things, and then an action plan to make each one happen. So you can do this with colored pencils, you can do it with markers, you can do it just with a pen or pencil, and then you can decorate it, you can add stickers, you can do whatever you want that makes it special. beautification adds energy. It doesn't have to be like a work of art, but beautification, color adds energy. You can even spray it with your favorite perfume. That would be amazing. And so once you have this, this is your game plan for the next 30 something days ahead, the next 30 days ahead. This is your game plan. This is what you're doing. This is how you're not going to be stopped. And you're going to just go through this list and keep action, action, action. Taurus is very often considered to be stubborn, but it's really committed and really, really just down the line, like, I am getting this done. And that's often, I believe, why Taurus is associated with so much industry and success and productivity and money and abundance, because it's this unwillingness to take no for an answer in the best possible ways. So during this super moon, new moon, set your intentions for wealth, for more joy and creativity in your life, for beauty, and especially home beauty, because that's going to reflect on everything and make your home more of a money magnet, and all of the abundance that you want. So all of the ways you want to be generous, all of the ways you want to give, really outline how you're going to do it, because you're not wishing, you are making. So you are making this happen. You make your own luck in this feng shui method. It is not that you're conjuring luck. You make your own luck. You're not hoping and wishing and praying you get lucky. You're making luck anytime you need it. And that's what this energy, this work is all about. And if you want to dive deep into this work, the School of Intention, the Professional Feng Shui Certification Program, is now open for registration. And this season is the most impressive thing I've ever done. And I rarely say that. We're doing a decluttering certification. And whenever I do something new, I usually offer it to people who are already in the program or already in a program. And so everyone is being gifted the professional decluttering certification. Next season, it's going to be a separate program. But this season, if you've wanted to be certified in feng shui, the decluttering certification is going to be a gift as part of the program. So I hope you absolutely love it. There's a link in the show notes if you're interested and want to join us, and you can watch the feng shui webinar, which is also an activation. Checking your messages, turn the TV off, turn the videos off, turn the things off, unless you're watching something really good and inspiring. I had a little poll of all my students and all the feng shui students in the school, all the campers that are in the current camp. And I just asked everyone, has anyone walked away from the news feeling like they could do everything, feeling inspired, feeling charged up, feeling like you could conquer the world? And most people said, no, they feel like spaced out. They could barely even function. And that's pretty much it. Repotting some plants too. Please do. Repotting is a great way. So if you don't get new plants for this new moon, repot your plants, propagate some clippings, just take some clippings, stick them in water, grow some roots, multiply your plants. It's so, so good. I've been decluttering my office. I've neglected so much. Time for most of it to go. If you haven't watched my last video yet, Everything Must Go, maybe that'll inspire you, because I wasn't expecting to just that one neglected closet that I cleaned out, wasn't expecting to then dump almost everything in my home, but that's what happened. And it changed everything for the best. When does the decluttering certification happen? In the middle of the school. And it's going to be in the middle. Oh, you are. I'm so happy that you're a part of this whole season. I'm repotting plants this weekend. I have several root systems that have outgrown their container. Ask yourself, are there certain containers you have outgrown as well? That's always, I think that our plants, I think that our everything in our environment is reflecting us in so many ways. And when my plants have outgrown their containers, I usually have outgrown mine. And I wonder if, and I've also, what my plants are experiencing is that their soil is exhausted. And I have been subtly exhausted. So I'm taking that to heart and really re-energizing myself. So hopefully that helps. I think that could be very, very helpful to look at. I just started scanning news headlines for the most part. I used to follow it closely. It's better not to follow everything. It's largely even just opinions. I love the idea with the dollar bill. Yay, please try it. I'm so glad you love this. It's going to be a really, really fun new moon. It's going to be a really fun time. I believe so strongly that this is setting us up for the new Jupiter energy, which is going to be so abundant. Like I hear people like on the sidelines, like talking about all of these different topics and worrying and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, it's so good. What's happening is going to be epic. Like I'm just purely looking at the astrology, the energy, the way I felt coming into this year. You create your life, in my view. You create your home, you create your life. You can't control everything, but you can create a whole lot more than maybe you've given yourself credit for. That's what we really get into in the Feng Shui school and using this work and practicing this work. It's really about becoming the creator of your life on a higher level. Most people don't know how to work with environment, but when you do, it's just such a practical way to elevate everything. And the results you get are literally like magic, even though they're very, very practical. So if you're excited to join us in the school, the link is below in the show notes or below when I post this. And thank you all for being here. And happy, happy, happy new supermoon. It is going to be epic. Bye, everyone. Thanks for being here.